Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm Jeff Davis, and I'm a professor and the head of civil, environmental, and construction engineering. And we have degrees in civil engineering and construction engineering. And the name of the department includes environmental engineering. And so today I'm going to talk to you about the transfer program, and which we have had for a long time. It's a big part of our department offerings and of our program. And we have had some fantastic students over the years. I've been at the Citadel for a long time, and we've had some great students who graduated from this program, and the faculty are very dedicated to equally to the evening program and the day program. And what do engineers do? What do civil and construction engineers do? They apply math and science to solve problems, interesting problems, complex problems in our society. They make communities a better place. They build stuff, they design stuff, they operate stuff, organize stuff, and work in a number of different ways. So many different niches in this field. It would be impossible to describe, but plenty, a world of opportunities are out there for our graduates, and with a tremendous demand from employers. And our department has been around for a long time, and in 2023 changed the name to be Emmett Davis Department of Civil, Environmental, and Construction Engineering. Emmett Davis was the famous graduate of our program and a veteran and founder of Davis and Floyd, an engineering company that works largely in South Carolina for all kind of communities and private companies. And he was inducted into our Hall of Fame, which is the Engineering Academy, in 2014. But in the first graduating class of the Citadel, there were civil engineers. So our program has been around for over 180 years. And so that just means we have a lot of brand recognition, and we have a lot of very famous graduates. The evening program, the transfer program, has been around since I would say, the late 1970s or early 1980s. And here just gives you a snapshot of all the people who graduated from our program last year. And so we are 60 graduates, and some from the graduate school. And last year we didn't have any transfer students in construction engineering, but veterans kind of work back and forth between both. And generally speaking, we're of all the people, 225 students in our department, one third are construction, and two thirds are civil engineering. And we aren't just the kind of program where you sit in a classroom. Here's a lot of pictures of field trips and activities, and we have a big premium on learning outside of the classroom in all kind of different ways. And field trips are a big part of that, as well as many other interactions with the professional community of engineers. And both of our programs are ABET accredited, which is hugely important. So construction engineering was accredited in 2020. We're getting ready to go through reaccreditation next year, but rest assured, all this will be taken care of, and the accreditation will be extended. The civil engineering program was the first accredited engineering program in South Carolina, and at that time did a lot to help other colleges and universities go through the accreditation process. So this is an important validation of your learning environment that qualifies you to seek professional licensure and other types of credentials. It qualifies you for graduate school, apply for jobs that have the specific requirements. This puts all of our graduates on par with every other engineering program in the country that offer the same degrees. And like I was saying, the Citadel has an amazing brand recognition for being a small school. And we are in a category that's non-PhD, whereas Clemson, Georgia Tech, North Carolina State would all have PhD programs. We're in one that the highest degree we offer is a master's. And a lot of schools are in that category, and we rank really well. Depending on how you look at it. But our name is on the list, and the Citadel has tremendous brand recognition for a whole variety of reasons. And one of them would be engineering graduates from our programs. And our department on its own has been in the top 10 pretty recently in civil engineering. And then we've had quite a few national recognitions. We've had 6 national awards in 12 years. And the magic sauce of all that were students and faculty and staff all working together, and all of our students, the 4 different types of students, um, cadets, obviously, civilian, active duty, and veteran students. When all of those students work together, that was the recipe for attaining these nice national awards and recognitions. And here are the faculty. We're 14 strong, and these faculty are amazing. They have open door policy. You can go talk to them. They're in your corner to help you and support you, help you find jobs, help you attend conferences, participate in research. And these are the people across our department who really make everything happen for the students, and bring a tremendous depth of knowledge to the classroom, as well as fantastic teaching methods. We don't have the kind of program that students come to class and hear blah, 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 good luck, go figure it out yourself. No, these faculty bring an amazing environment for learning to the classroom. And almost all of us have our professional engineering license, and that just puts a big emphasis on preparing students for licensure, which is you can do 2 of the 4 things you need to do while you're in our undergraduate programs. And we are in historic Letellier Hall, which everyone loves because of the vibe that's here, the students and faculty and the learning environment. But we are slated to get a new building. It's on the horizon, and we have obtained a lot of funds from our state legislature and from private donors, and we're going to move forward with this building construction project soon. And it'll, at long last, kind of the building will embody our standard of excellence in engineering education. So this is something that's on the horizon. There is a tremendous interest by the engineering companies and construction companies. Every time we have a career fair, this was just from last year alone, it's packed. And every student graduating from our program and the transfer program or the cadet program can all get 10 job offers if they had time to talk to that many companies. Usually students will find the top 3 and then really focus on those particular ones. But you can learn a lot by going to career fairs, like about what type of opportunities are out there. You can get a job while you're in school. Certainly in the transfer program you can. And this list of job fairs and expos and industry days will be replicated this coming year with new dates that will work to make sure all the students participate in and benefit from. And then our students and faculty both have received lots of recognitions, scholarships. And here's just a snapshot of those. This involves both faculty and students, and we work to help them get scholarships from external sources, as well as participate in competitions, academic competitions. And this is our students usually do real well in these types of initiatives. And then we also have, in addition to the scholarships and awards, we have a bunch of grants, externally funded grants, research grants that apply engineering to solving problems. And one of them is the Dr. Tim Mays, Dr. John Ryan are working on with a team of engineering researchers to update the bridge design standards to meet seismic requirements in South Carolina. And so these are great learning opportunities. Students have an opportunity to get involved in these research grants. And here you see kind of a snapshot of what's going on right now. And so the 2 programs I want to talk to you about, we have 5 programs in our department, and we have the civil engineering day and transfer program, construction engineering day and transfer program, and a master's program. So I want to talk about the civil engineering and construction engineering transfer program. And it's important to note that the first 2 years are the same, essentially the same. So you can, maybe through a job experience, or maybe through going to a career fair or talking to people in industry, or maybe going to a professional society meeting, find out more about the opportunities and decide between civil and construction. When you get to your junior year, you will need to kind of know which route you're going. We have a separate curriculum for construction engineering and a separate one for civil engineering with a few overlaps, but that would be the time when you would need to decide. And this just gives a snapshot of the civil engineering program. So we have 32 courses in civil engineering. This doesn't include the math, science, and general education. That would be a few more. We have a big emphasis on broad-based education, which means you don't really get to use electives, but that I think it's very important that you learn these four areas, that you get a kind of equal exposure to all of them under curriculum: structural engineering, environmental engineering, geotechnical engineering, which is transferring all the loads into the natural soil, and transportation engineering. So there are multiple courses and labs in each one of those four technical areas. And rather than specializing in one of them, you get an equal dose of all four of them. And there would be seldom a project you would work on upon graduation that would not involve all four areas. Maybe emphasizing one more than others, but involving all four. And so this has been our foundation of our curriculum and program for a long time, is to keep it broad-based and to have students learn equal amounts of information and techniques and methodologies from all four of these technical areas. And then throughout the entire curriculum, we have an emphasis on preparing students for professional licensure, getting your professional engineering license. And you could do, as I said, two of the four things. The two would be you can getting an undergraduate degree from an ABET accredited institution and taking the fundamentals of engineering exam, a national qualifying exam, which is actually required for graduation. And we have preparatory courses that you take to get you ready to take the test with a lot of additional resources. And you can also, our program allows you to do two of, or maybe even three of the things you need to become a professional land surveyor, PLS. And you can take the test and get a degree, and then maybe also get the work experience, because you can do surveying and during the daytime if you're in the transfer program, and accumulate almost all the hours that you need to go that route. And this profession has a big upside in our state. Not many people are becoming land surveyors. And then you just see all of our programs down there below. So in the transfer program, also referred to as 2+2 or maybe evening program, it's primarily for civilian students. But we also would have veteran and active duty students who would take these courses, and they can kind of float across both programs. And then every once in a while, some cadets might be in the evening programs if they are trying to stay on track to graduate. And we do have we have online courses available in pretty much each semester of the 4 semesters that it takes to graduate, in 2 summers, I should say. So we do have quite a few asynchronous online courses that help students not use up all their time driving to campus, 5 days a week. Maybe they would need to come face to face 3 days, 3 out of the 5 days. And construction engineering, we are construction engineering. We're the only construction engineering program in South Carolina, not construction management. And so this prepares students to become registered professional engineers, which has a gigantic strategic advantage in your career. And we see that 14 construction engineering courses. That also involves construction management, and 7 courses for that. And once again, we have broad-based emphasis with no electives. And then the curriculum includes a category, various categories of things that you would learn. Obviously, estimating, scheduling, project management, equipment, construction equipment, site safety, and then the design of structures, foundations, buildings, construction means and methods, and site logistics is a big part of our curriculum. And once again, emphasis on professional licensure, and with the preparatory courses and the graduation requirement to take the fundamentals of engineering national qualifying exam. And the program is the same. In this program, there are instances where the civilian students, if they need to take a class during the day, we can get the special approval. We don't have a fully available evening program standalone. It's kind of interwoven between the day and the transfer program, and that would require taking some day classes. The civil engineering one, all the classes are at night, or on rare occasions in the late afternoon. And then this just shows the kind of pathways through our program. Most students in the beginning the cadets, they're well described and shown in photos there. And for the evening program, the transfer program, most students go to Trident Tech, although you could go to any school of your choosing, come to the Citadel in the last 2 years, come to classes at night in Letellier Hall that you see here, and then generally have work experience. So you almost have a co-op type learning experience where you can work, you can defray your expenses, meaning you can earn some income for your living expenses and to cover your tuition. And there is a pathway that to graduate from both of the transfer programs with little to no debt if you play your hands right and find the right kind of career opportunities. And then you find out what you like, and maybe you go and work in one particular area and you learn a lot. That's what happened to me when I was in college, but I knew that wasn't what I wanted to go into permanently. But I've always benefited from having those great jobs when I was in college. And then here are just some of the distinctions of our program. Cohort learning, where you are in classes with students, we learn from each other. We have faculty who have their teaching is the main priority. We're a teaching institution, so we're here to help students learn. We do research, but we don't have to. We're just doing that to complement all the other things that we're doing. The classes are small. You have a lot of interaction. I know every student in our program. The faculty are very passionate about teaching and just bring this amazing energy to the classroom and innovative learning experiences. And we have enrichment, which means just all kind of other activities that help you learn outside of the classroom, and then as well as undergraduate research. You can be involved in some of the research projects that we have. And the hallmarks of the program: learning beyond the classroom, internships. As in the transfer program, you can work year round, close to maybe a 40-hour job. But probably optimally 30 hours a week would be best to balance work and school. And then it's a very well-traveled path to becoming a registered professional engineer. We emphasize this. Our faculty have their PE licenses, and we work really hard to help students get on the pathway to 4 years out of college, get their PE license. So the other two things you need to do, besides getting a degree from an ABET accredited institution and taking and passing the fundamentals of engineering exam, is you work for 4 years under a licensed professional engineer, and then you take another 8-hour qualifying exam, the professional engineering licensure exam. And generally speaking, this is a tremendous game changer for people in their careers in terms of what you can do. You could own your own company, you can become a principal, you can sign and seal engineering drawings, and you have all the authority of an engineer through the official licensing at our state or whatever state you would want to work in. And we certainly help students prepare for outstanding professional careers. It's amazing what students from our program go on to do. It's very inspirational to hear, and then we bring those graduates back, and students get to hear from them as well. And then this just shows a snapshot of all the summer jobs that people had last summer. So with many outstanding companies in the public and private sector, and we work to help students find the jobs that will complement their learning in our program, and also generate some income for them, and get them learning experiences that they can begin to build their career on. And we have a lot of professional societies that are connected to our program. American Society of Civil Engineers is probably the biggest one. We go to conferences, we compete in competitions. The Society of Professional Land Surveyors, Institute of Transportation Engineers, local engineering groups, Society of Women Engineers, Society of American Military Engineers, and our students attend meetings of all these organizations and participate in a variety of things that helps them learn and then begin to meet and network with people and get begin to figure out what do they want to do in their career, what do they love. As that would be the main job would be students would be to find what you love. There's many different avenues, and you want to find the area of engineering that you enjoy the most, and that will be rewarding for you in going forward in your career. And here's just another example of a great learning experience. We went on the NOAA ship Thomas Jefferson that was here in Charleston doing offshore seafloor mapping. And boy, what a great experience that was to see how all of that works. And then these kind of opportunities are once in a lifetime, and we organize them all the time for our students. Here was another one where this happened last summer about this time, where we looking at coastal resilience and what's being done and what our profession will need to do. And here we see a whole host of organizations and engineering companies that work in this area. We organized a 2-day workshop for students and went out in Charleston Harbor, saw things firsthand. And here were some of the projects we saw. There on the horizon is to build a seawall around the city of Charleston, to kind of like what they have in New Orleans, except for they had a levee. We don't have room for a levee, so we're going to have a seawall and have a bunch of pumps behind it to protect and pump out in extreme conditions. We looked at dredging projects, the Crab Island dredging in front of the Mount Pleasant, the Ports Authority marsh restoration, the resiliency of the bridge, which was really interesting to learn about. And students see all this from the people who were the engineers of record. A large pumping station that was designed by Davis and Floyd engineers that's right close to our campus. That's much further along now if you drive past. Another great part of our program is the capstone. Every engineering program has a capstone, meaning that you learning experience where you draw from all the courses you've taken. And our capstone has been an amazing learning experience headed up by these faculty where our students go and get the plans for an airport in South Carolina and then figure out how to adopt those existing facilities to accommodate electric vertical takeoff and landing. Kind of a good combination between a drone and a Tesla. And these types of craft are coming. They're already beginning to fly test flights in the United States, and they will serve a variety of purposes, including passenger service. And our next version of this will be the Greenville Downtown Airport. And to see a little bit of what's going on, here's the one that they did this year in Columbia near the South Carolina football stadium, the Hamilton Owens Airfield. And our students went and interacted with the airport commission and the airport managers. Here we are on a field trip there, and then come up with plans and present them to a professional panel. And so this is a fantastic learning experience, and presenting engineering recommendations and design is something that people will do a lot in their career, and our students get a great dose of that while they're in our program. And then these engineers are all experts in their field, so it's not easy, but it's a big challenge. And the top performing teams that we see here from 2025 get an award, the Burt Booth Williams Award, and then also get a lot of confidence in their ability to conduct rigorous engineering design and to present it in a public forum in a way that builds confidence from the stakeholders and from the larger community. And it's not just me in a leadership role. We have the 14 faculty. If you're at Trident Tech, Dr. Stephanie Lawton is out there 2 days a week and is a facilitator to help students figure out their pathways to our program. And she's there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she also teaches a course. And then Dr. Timothy Wood is the program director of construction engineering. And so here, these are two additional people besides just me who are helping students onboard into our program. And we have a lot of social media, so you can see many of our stories about field trips, about awards and recognitions, about graduates, and you can connect um, to our social media and see. We also have a newsletter to just get a glimpse of the kind of student activities and what it's like. I think that the feedback we get from students is they really enjoy the learning environment, and it's something that puts them on their way, puts them on a course for a lot of success in their professional careers. So with that, I would like to move on to the graduate program. So our graduate program is separate, but it's a program that has a lot of strategic advantages. It's all online. Students never have to come for face-to-face class, and it's really tailored for working professionals. And we have about 25 students in the program. It doesn't require a thesis. You take 10 courses, 6 technical engineering courses, 4 could be non-technical, or all 10 could be engineering courses. The complementary courses could be in project management or leadership or business, maybe. There are 3 technical tracks: structural engineering, transportation engineering, and geotechnical engineering. And all courses are taught asynchronously, meaning that you can access them at any time. They're not schedule driven. And currently, most of the courses that are offered are structural right now, but we offer other ones from time to time and are working to build more capacity. And then we don't have, I think this is a benefit for students, we don't have courses that have undergraduates and graduates in the same course. They're all graduate courses with no undergraduate students taking a less rigorous part of the course. It's all graduate courses. And then undergraduate students in our program and elsewhere can take a couple of grad classes while they're still undergraduates if they want to, but they're all graduate level instructions. And what else would I say? They're really focused on practicing engineers, but a lot of our students do go immediately from undergrad to grad and directly into this program. And then Dr. Tim Mays is our dedicated faculty to this program, and you wouldn't believe the amount of interaction he has with students. It's asynchronously, but the learning environment, everything we love about teaching face-to-face is all reflected in the online curriculum as well. And he spends a lot of time talking to students, helping students, interacting with them, and providing tremendous learning opportunities through his classroom instruction. And then here's what we've had. So we've had nearly 50 people graduate from this program, and it's we're in the 9 to 10 the last couple of years, and working to make it bigger. And I think it offers value. Not many colleges offer an applied engineering, professional type engineering graduate program. They're more focused on preparing the graduates, or maybe the curriculum is there, but also the learning opportunities to work in their research, and it would be more theoretically oriented. Ours and cover the theory, but covers more practical aspects of engineering design, more than I would say like big schools would do. And then this just gives you a glimpse of the 3 technical areas that we cover: structural engineering, buildings, skyscrapers, bridges; transportation engineering, mobility, which involves a lot of technology; and then geotechnical engineering, transferring all of the loads in a building into the natural soil, which is inherently variable and also inherently weak in many cases. And then here we see just a glimpse of some of the applications of structures, which would involve buildings, bridges, dams, coastal facilities, well, obviously big in Charleston, stadiums, utility construction, maybe like pump stations or water treatment facilities, and then manufacturing plants. So obviously we've had a lot of new manufacturing plants come to Charleston, or being expanded, and the structural part, figuring out the building that gets that all the manufacturing occurs in, is something that structural engineers would be responsible for. And then geotechnical engineering. This is soil. Soil is the most used building material in the history of the world. It's the most naturally using material, and the largest man-made material would be concrete, but the largest natural material by far is soil. And so here we see a shallow foundation, a column that would distribute all the load into the natural ground. Here we see drilled shafts and something that looks like a lot, very tall building foundation here going in, and retaining walls, but embankments, earthen dams, retaining walls are all part of the curriculum, and seismic requirements. So Charleston is in a seismic zone, and we cover that in our course curriculum. And transportation is the movements of people, goods, and services involving traffic signalization, highway design, a lot of highway construction going on in South Carolina right now, rebuilding of interchanges, and then all kind of other accessible type things, access to employment, freight, uh, and many other kind of technological aspects of mobility to develop a safe and efficient network uh, for the for the communities that the facilities serve. And then our focus areas are that you would learn in these courses. You would definitely get a depth of knowledge that would be beyond what you would learn in an undergraduate program. You learn all about the current issues, and probably that should also include the term codes and standards about where things are changing, which changes every year. Learn how to design a complex system, and then all the methods and techniques and tools that you would need to use in the working world. And then this gives you a snapshot of just what we've offered recently. So we offer about 2 or 3 courses each semester in engineering, and here were the 2 courses provided over the summer. Here's one that's kind of relevant to all disciplinary areas of engineering beyond civil and construction, GIS, Geographic Information System. And so we had a course in that, foundation design, and then we're offering 3 courses this fall that students can take. All online, all asynchronously, meaning that they don't have a schedule requirement. Other than being done in the semester. It doesn't have a week-to-week schedule that you have to be in online at any particular time. And then this gives just our mission. Again, we're student-centered, and helping people learn the skills and the leadership skills, and emphasizing practical concepts and values and a disciplined work ethic. It's fully online. It's focused on practicing engineers. It has an applied curriculum. All the courses are taught by faculty who have PhDs, the terminal degrees in engineering, as well as PE licenses. It doesn't require a thesis, 10 courses, 4 of which could be project management. And then I can just tell you, Dr. Mays works very diligently, as do all faculty, to make sure that people who are working, that have families, have a work-life balance, that we do what we can to support students when they have other demands on their time. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions or.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that. We are moving into the question portion, and so if anybody has a question, definitely you can click raise your hand or just go ahead and unmute yourself. But I'll go ahead and kick us off with a question that we get a lot here at the CGC, and that is, can I apply for the master's degree if my bachelor's degree is not in engineering?
So that's a good question. If like an undergraduate the main thing that students, I think, that would get a master's in engineering would want to do would be to become licensed as a professional engineer. And that requires you, if you have a physics degree, you already would have had a lot of science and math. To become licensed requires 30 hours of math and science, calculus and science. So if a person that is the right goal to have, is to become licensed. So they will look at that. If you get a master's degree from the ABET accredited school, that's a big benefit in your career opportunities. But there would be a decision depending. If you had, say, a business degree, then that wouldn't allow you. You wouldn't have calculus. You wouldn't have the prerequisites that you would need to be successful in a graduate program in advanced structural engineering. So I think that we have spent a lot of time advising students that have degrees that are kind of maybe some science or environmental science would be, some would check the box right away. Mechanical engineering sometimes, or electrical engineering. Graduates get a civil engineering master's, and that's good. If a person has a non-technical undergraduate degree, then I think probably then I would want to discuss what other courses do they have and how many prerequisite courses would be needed to go into the graduate curriculum. So that we would carefully advise students on that and find out what they really wanted to do when they graduated, and really advise based off of that, not so much just the academic requirements.
Awesome, thank you. Another question is, what are some important qualities that you look for in applicants?
I think just that they would be willing to put the time in, and just be come with a positive attitude, and make sure that you can uh, figure out a way to balance out all the demands you would have on the transfer program on a student's time, including their personal life and their professional life and their academic life. And to me, I've been at the Citadel for a long time, so I think of the students being only needing to do this for a short time. Once you get to the Citadel in the transfer program, you have 4 semesters and 2 summers, and you graduate. So even that it's not easy to balance all those things, but it doesn't last that long, in my opinion. I've been teaching at night for over 20 years, and so feels to me like when students come, they just need to make some modifications in their how they do things. They do have to use a lot of time on the weekends for studying, so time management with these 3 different areas of importance in anyone's life: their personal life, their professional life, and their academic life. That they just would be willing to work hard and find the sweet spot and all of that for, yeah, 4 semesters and 2 summers, and get your degree, and then move into great opportunities in a fantastically challenging professional field.
And then what are some common misconceptions about the field?
I mean, I think the common misperception is like which, and when we do a lot to help students figure this out, like should they go into civil engineering or should they go in construction engineering? And there is a big overlap, and you want to find what you like the most, and so that's kind of hard to do without kind of getting in the pool, jumping in there, taking some courses, getting some work experience, talking with people, and then finding out like what do I really want to go forward into. And so I would say civil engineers never design anything without thinking about how it will be built, and then construction engineers never want to just take a design off the shelf and just build it, without consideration of constructability and other issues that would help make the project better. And then there is a lot of uncertainty. I would say hardly any project ever moves into construction without having some changes to the design. So this dynamic is a really important dynamic, and students want to work to find out while they're in school which one do they want to go forward with first, and which one's the right one for them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Davis. We really appreciate it. Um, we will be moving into our application process part of the presentation. And so, like I said, if questions do come up, definitely pop them in the chat or raise your hand and we can ask them live. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. And so to submit your application, you just go right online to citadel.edu/apply hub, or you can scan that QR code right there. Today we are offering a waiver code, Go Dogs. You can use that today or anytime in the future, and we'll waive that $40 application fee. And then this is what opens up your application status page. And so once you hit submit, you'll see that you are prompted to upload your supplemental items, and that would be your ID and your transcripts. And then for the civil master's program, you would need your 2 letters of recommendation, and you have options for that. So you can either reach out to the individuals you want to complete those on your behalf and have them send them directly to the Citadel, or you can list them them and their contact information, and we will reach out to them on your behalf. You would have to get your official transcripts sent over from the institution or institutions that you attended in order to receive an official evaluation. For the undergrad programs, we would need the official, but we would also need to make sure that you have those core engineering classes in order to transfer along with the 30 credit hours. And so you can find those classes online. The application timeline, it takes about a day or two to process that application once we receive it. And then once we get all of your supplemental items, again, the ID, the transcripts, the letters of recommendation, it takes about 5 to 10 business days to get a decision back to you. And that'll come via email, as well as it'll be uploaded onto your application status page. And so it is a pretty quick turnaround. Transcripts usually get here within 3 to 5 business days if they are done electronically. If it is in the mail, it could take up to 2 weeks. We always like to just warn students that that is really the big time frame, the big buffer between you applying and you getting a decision. If you have any questions, definitely contact us here at the CGC. We deal with graduate as well as degree completion, and so we are the one-stop shop for all questions. You can find your enrollment coordinator based off of the information on the screen. We do split it up by last names, but we are all here to help you get to the Citadel and make sure that you're following the right steps in doing that. And so I'll leave this up for a minute so that you can jot down any information that you need. But of course, we are all available at the CGC at citadel.edu email and that phone number as well. If there are no additional questions, we thank you for joining us for today. Dr. Davis, thank you so much for being part of this. And we look forward to seeing y'all on campus or online.